God bless you, everybody. For a while, I always knew that something big was going to come in my life, like, besides everything else that I've gone through. But I kept, like, telling people randomly, I'll be like, if I ever get cancer, I'm never going to do chemotherapy. Like, that's toxic. That's basically, like, it's going to drag and it's going to make me so sick. I'm not going through that. If God is going to give me cancer, then he gave it to me for a reason and he wants me out of this earth, so I'm not gonna take no medicine and I'm just gonna go. For a while, for years, I hadn't been feeling my best and I knew something was up with me, but every time I would go to my doctors or whatever, they wouldn't find anything. Nothing would come back alarming or anything like that. And I just, I could never figure out what was wrong with me. But I was always a person that I would always be like doing too much, had so much on my plate, like, for years. I never really took breaks, or I couldn't really take the breaks because I wasn't allowed to, the way I was brought up and whatever. I was a person that was always saying yes to everyone and everything, and I thought that was my obligation, and that's how I was taught. But it's huge for us to understand that everybody needs a break, and you have to learn how to say no in certain situations and in certain times, and it is okay for you to take a break. Even God did that when he was creating the earth. On the seventh day he rested, but a lot of people, especially Christians, believers, they think that taking a break is a problem, or saying no is a problem. And how can we really help others when we can't take care of ourselves? Crazy to say, like, how can cancer be for your good? But really, that was one of the things that I learned, to slow down, to be able to take the time to recuperate, to work on the healing that I needed. And even then, like, I was still trying to, once I found out that I had cancer, I still wanted to continue on working, and my boss was like the one that was encouraging me to take the time to heal myself and not worry about work and everything like that. And thank God I listened to her, because I wouldn't have been able to continue working like that. Like, the way that it affected me, in my mind and my body, I got so sick. Like, I could not even get up from the bed sometimes, and I would have a lot of bathroom issues, a lot of throwing up, oh my God, the nausea. I was like being pregnant without actually being pregnant. Like, certain smells I couldn't deal with. Oh my God, it was terrible. Like, so many things. The pain in my body, like, yeah, it was like one of the worst experiences of my life. Like, there's so many side effects. Like, I would have like this ringing noise in my ear. Like, I could not. Oh my God, the panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I was septic in the beginning. The first time I had chemo, like, I was literally in my deathbed, and I had experiences like, I know I was dying, and like, I'm gonna have to do that in a separate video as well. But I died here in my aunt's house. Like, I kept coming in and out of my body, and it was just crazy. Like, 10 minutes is not enough to explain that. But one of the things I wanted to focus on is that people kept like saying to me, like, people that I didn't even expect, like, oh, that's God God gave you cancer so that you could basically come back to him and basically get back to where you were before. From the beginning of the process, like, for a while, God had been silent about the situation, but not completely. Like, he was in and out, giving me hints and giving me information here and there. When I went to get my biopsy done to check if I did have cancer cells, that morning I remember that I woke up in this like heavy worship mode, and I was just enjoying God's presence, and I felt God's presence in a different way than I've ever felt it before, and like this overwhelming peace that came over me. And I knew that God was with me, but I could understand like that he was setting me up to have that peace, because I was going to receive bad news. But he let me know that he was with me. I was strengthened by his peace and his glory, and like it was such a beautiful moment. But after the fact, I was told that I was positive for cancer, and I was stage 3. And I was like, what? I knew it when the lady told me over the phone. She's like, what do you mean, honey? What do you mean you knew it? I was like, because God be talking. Like, God is crazy. But like, I was so in shock, but not like it was crazy. But God had told me in the bathroom, in the shower, like maybe a few weeks after I was told that I was positive for cancer, I was worshiping God in the shower, and I was just talking to him, and I'm like, you know what, devil? I started speaking out loud. You're not going to take away the worship. I'm still going to trust God. I still serve him. I believe in God, and whatever he wants, either to take me or to, leave me on this earth for his glory, and for him to use me for, declaring who he is and declaring that he's a miracle worker. I'm not going to stop like worshiping God regardless. You're not going to win this. And I just kept worshiping and singing, and all of a sudden I hear God's voice saying, he said it in Spanish, but te estoy probando como a Job. Like I'm testing you like I did Job. When I heard that, I was like, yo, I knew there was a reason. Like I knew that I didn't really believe that I was gonna die, but because God was quiet, I was like slightly freaking out randomly. But God is faithful. Like he really does speak. And it's crazy that people would just automatically be like, oh, you're getting basically punished for you not doing something, or whatever the case. People would make like their own assumptions, and they think that they know why God allows something in your life, but they really don't. People are quick to judge what they don't know, especially if they don't have that type of relationship with God. Some people go through certain things that others may not understand. So that's why we can't be judging anyone, because we don't know what really God is doing in their lives, But one thing I did learn is how to be content in all circumstances. That's a big lesson that God showed me. And that's based off Philippians. Really, truly, God tests you sometimes, and it's not because he doesn't trust you. It's actually because he does trust you, and he wants to show the enemy and others that, certain ones that he has chosen are really, truly for God, like, and nothing will move them, and that's all glory to him. And I see now all the strength within. Just remember that no matter what God allows you to go through, like, he's not going to give you something that you're not going to be able to handle. He is always going to glorify himself in your life, through your life. And really, we have to learn how to trust him, regardless of how bad the situation looks, how tough our problems are. There's always a reason. And God really knows what's best for us. And he will actually, like, teach you how to truly live in freedom and in peace. And sometimes we want to control situations and we want to control our lives, but there's a purpose to everything. You know what I mean? Like, if I hadn't gone through this cancer, I would not be this calm, this peaceful, this grateful, this joyful. Like, God knows all things. Take it all in. Take all of what God has prepared and his plans, regardless of how ugly they may look. He's got your back. He really does. You can find me as J como La Palmera with 3 A's at the end and a 7. And I'd appreciate if you guys would share the videos and comment if you want, ask questions or whatever. Be positive. Don't be negative, okay? If you don't like what I'm posting, then just skip it, okay? God bless y'all. Love yous and good night. And good morning when you watch this in the morning. Bye.